couple months back, KBiz magazine had there were 12 pictures of kitchens in the magazine, not in sink ads, either in ads for something else or articles. Okay, of those 12, 11 were the small radius sinks. So we think this is coming. We've already seen it. It's 40 to 50% of our business already is these sinks. One of the advantages of this sink is you've got more real estate on the bottom to put stuff. These small radius sinks, they started out as zero radius. You always should avoid a zero radius. I mean, you go on the internet, you can buy them real cheap because nobody wants them, because you can't clean this inside bottom corner where they come together. All our small radius sinks are made in the same factory, the same finish. So again, if you like this finish, you're going to get it in long term. All of our drain holes are in the center, particularly when you come to a big single like this. We were Travis was showing us a sink, I looked at the sink from another manufacturer that a customer brought in, and this sink was at the back. The hole was at the back of the sink. Well, you put a garbage disposal in there. If anything happens to your faucet, it's almost impossible to get. You almost got to take the garbage disposal out to get to it. Also, because most faucets now have weight on the hose to make them go back, you got more plate to bang on. It's just so putting in the middle relieves a lot of the problems with it. Okay, this I was going to have you pick this up, but when we're all done, I'd like you all to come up and pick up all these sinks. You'll see how heavy they are, and they're just very great sinks.
So tell me, with the panels on it, it has the different type of quieting effect?
That is a rubber pad, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. Great question.
Okay.
Because these are flat, you get more resonance. We have to have bigger pads on them.
Okay.
So we do put the bigger pads on here.
Okay.
What's on the bottom of that one?
Same thing. Yeah, because
Are all your sinks made in America or just in South Korea? You just buying the stainless steel from South Korea?
that is something made. To the best of my knowledge, there's only 2 companies making sinks in the U.S.
Okay.
Okay, and one is a real cheap 301 stainless sink, and one is like $3,000 a sink. It's for the medical industry.
Okay.
So they're making sinks. So those are made in South Korea.
Okay.
Okay, no tariffs. Trust me, poor Jim's reading every day is worried about that. This is made from South Korea. It's made in China from South Korean steel. So we buy the steel and ship it over to them so they can make it.
Okay.
So we have built in all the tariffs that we suspect will happen in the next 12 months. So we don't expect a price increase unless our president goes nuts. That was not a political statement. Okay, the third type of sink. This is a PerfeFlo sink. One of the problems, handmade fabricated sinks are made from a flat piece of steel, and they bend up the sides and you weld them. Okay. The problem is the flat piece of steel. They don't drain very well. A lot of times, if your cabinets aren't dead flat, and of course yours are always dead flat, I'm sure. The floor's not flat. Jim's sister has one in her house, the old ones, and she's got a puddle in one corner. This is the best story. When we were down in Nashville, we went and stopped in a place and we showed her. We have a video, and I'll show you that video at the end here, of how these drain. And she said, "Well, where were you 6 months ago?" She said, "What's wrong?" She said, she put in a zero radius too, and she said it doesn't drain at all. I have to squeegee the water out. So Jim says, well, you went out and bought a squeegee? He says, no, it came with a squeegee.
That's funny.
But see, what they did by doing that is legally,
They're
they
taking,
provided you a fix to the problem. So if you call them up and say, this sink doesn't drain, well, where's your squeegee?
yeah,
So that's your out.
yeah.
Okay, so Jim worked for 2 years with the factories to find somebody who would fix the problem. We can only find 2 who could even agree to try, and only 1 would buy the equipment to do it. So these are made in the factory. They actually stamp it with a 15-ton press first before they fold and weld it. You've got about a 1/4 inch of pitch into it, so they do drain. And again, I'll show you the video at the end to how well they drain. These are made from, because of this stamping process, it's made from heavier steel. This, by Chinese standards, it's almost 14 gauge. It's Korean 16 gauge, but because it's never been stamped, it's folded and welded, it's not stretched. So that bowl is about 2.5 pounds heavier than this bowl, and the equivalent sink is about 8 pounds heavier than those sinks. So these are very quiet, very heavy. These are 10 inches. The Evo are 9 inches. These drain better. These drain okay, better than most, but not as well as the PerfeFlo.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So can you get this in the double?
They
That's it.
this one
That's the
comes
PerfeFlo.
if you have a real picky customer where the budget is not real tight, I would suggest
Go
these.
with
These
that.
come in a big single,
Okay.
double equal. This says 70/30. It actually measures to be a 60/40. And then we're going to talk in a little while about
Oh.
apron front sinks, which
Okay.
are very exciting. Okay. So they come in all the sizes, and these come in the 3 sizes, and they come in. We also have an 18-15, which is what this is, and a 23-18 in the Evo.
Okay.
I can see that in the utility room too.
Well,
Are those
we have a laundry sink as well.
Are these
that
the
we're gonna-
same or different? I could, these are
No, no.
they're
Different. They're
those are
different.
Okay.
This is the
Here.
PerfeFlo,
Okay.
and that's where they
That's
stamp
what-
them.
This is the premium best sink. Now, because these run are a little pricey, all PerfeFlo come with
Is
a
that our
grid.
cost?
That's your delivery cost. Am I supposed to talk about?
That's fine.
Okay. Because I have a price book here that I'll give to all of you with
Yep.
permission.
Yep.
These are 10 inches deep. Now, because we were looking to create a better price point product. That's how Jim came up with the Evo. We worked with the factory, and this one took us 2 years to develop by the time we. So when we started talking about the Evolution sink, we expected it to take 2 years to develop it. What it took was about 6 weeks.
Oh.
Now, this, made with the same steel in the same factory, the same finish, everything's identical. This is lighter than that. That's 10 inches, this is 9 inches. Okay? See the slight taper? We can nest these. Nesting means we can stack them one inside of the other. With those, because they come one to a box, we get about 400 per container depending on what we're shipping. These get 1,600 to 2,000 per container. So these, the big single is 179 versus 326. Now this doesn't come with a grid, and that does, but this was designed as a price point product. These, to our surprise, do drain pretty well. Not quite as good as that one. So there's 2 different price ranges.
That one comes with a grid.
This
So
one.
all the PerfeFlo
Yeah,
come with
all
grid.
of these, yeah, have the grid. You don't
Okay, let
have
me see
that
that.
on here. Well, here, right down here. And
When I give you the price book, when we're all done, I don't use the price book because it's kind of, when I'm having 10 people here, it's hard
Yeah,
to see
you're
it all.
fine.
The biggest thing between the two is that sink is pressed as far as it can be stretched without wrinkling the steel. The problem they had was getting the PerfeFlo drain from 4 millimeters to 12.7. without wrinkling the steel. They couldn't do it. They had to go with heavier steel and they hit it with a harder press to do it before they folded and welded. So those Evo sinks drain way better than the standard sinks, and it has nothing to do with quality. It's the manufacturing process. They put the drain in, whatever they get when they stamp the drain, that's all the drainage pitch they get. That's why if you're out of level at all, a lot of these things come with squeegees and you have issues. So ours are more than 1/4 inch pitch on the Evo, and then it's 1/2 inch on the PerfeFlo.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a 1/2 inch pitch on
Yeah.
these?
On the big singles, it's 12.7, 1/2 inch pitch.
Okay. So we have 3 different sinks. We have the traditional, we have the Evo, which is more of the price point, and then we have the super duper PerfeFlo. The companies that are the most successful with our products are people that sell packages, sink and faucet package. With this package, you get, and these 2 packages are identical price. They're both the same price. So, and we're going to get into how we think you can offer these to the customer effectively. But both of them are the same price. Any of the sinks, any faucets. We also have just brought out this faucet when these were already published, so we don't have that. We got the wrong. I mean, we didn't have it on here, so we've added this. So this faucet again, including this one. Now the 2 faucets, the faucet I'm going to show you in a minute. These 2 are the most expensive faucets. So obviously, if it's one price fits all, those are the best deals when you come to that. Any questions so far?
My question would be, how does this compare price-wise to composite sinks?
It's going to be less than composite.
Or asking how compared to like the Blanco sinks.
It'll compare with the good ones. It's going to be heads to head. You got some cheaper ones that are less expensive, just like cheaper sinks. Okay, you saw these. We have a traditional apron front sink. Okay, it's 10 inches deep, 10 inches box. You need a special cabinet for it. Do you charge extra for a farm sink cabinet? Okay. We have both at the same price. This one is made for an existing cabinets, but it also can work for if you have somebody who doesn't want to replace. There's a couple advantages to this. First of all you don't even have to put in the existing condition. You take the false drawer front out, and this goes. You can see how that's a shipping piece. You have to break that off, and it fits right over the top, covers it. It fits perfect in a 33-inch cabinet. Sometimes in a 36, you have to put a little filler, because some of the drawers are going all the way to the edge. Depends on what the cutout is. But our guys are loving it because all you have to do is you take it off, you put a couple of 2x4s in the back to hold it up until they can screw it to the granite, and you're done.
That's smart.
Okay? Now, in your application, if you have it, you don't even have to do the drawer cutout. You don't have to have a special cabinet. Okay, so that it fits right in there. And the advantage is you don't have to have a carpenter do it. The granite guys can do it.
Well, no, I'm kidding.
Lucky for us, ours is both.
Well, I understand it, and I understand you have a particularly skilled guy, but it takes a less skilled person to do this. Now, in addition, when you'd have a traditional 10-inch deep, that one cabinet is lower, and those doorknobs get pretty low. With this one, it's a straight line across there. Everything fits the same. So I've got these if you want in the smaller size laminated for you guys.
And when we went to Nashville, the custom cabinet guys like that because it eliminates the carpentry. The fit and finish, you don't even need to caulk it. And all they do is knock the top edge off the thickness of the sink. And you can reuse the 2x4s if you mark them and save them.
What's the front height on that one?
6 3/4.
6 3/4.
So
How
it's
deep's
We got 8 inches to
bowl
work
then?
with. don't
both
we?
10 inches.
It's 10.
Okay.
It's just like the Kohler one that we have
Exactly.
in here. It's just a stainless steel version of it.
And this is about half the price of a Kohler.
And it drains.
Yeah, and this is the PerfeFlo, so this drains well. No, the porcelain one drains. Kohler has a $700 version of that, or almost $800, $780, and it's not PerfeFlo. It's got the same drainage issue as most do. So that one drains better. It's more price effective. we've been told that the savings on the carpentry and all the other, you know, the cabinet and everything pays for the sink. So, okay. We also have a 23 by 18 PerfeFlo sink, 12 inches deep, because most laundry tubs are 13 and a half. So by the time you put it underneath granite, it is 13 and a half. So it's perfect for a laundry tub. Now that is a PerfeFlo. We have a 23 by 18 and an 18-15 that's not PerfeFlo, only because you're only draining a short distance. When you drain the longer distance, you need it. And in the 2318, the laundry tub, because you're putting soap and all kinds of stuff, we made that the PerfeFlo so it drains better. Okay, have I completely confused you all?
No.
No, we got it.